Welcome. Over my head, these 5 screens called Coke by the Numbers, telling you different fun facts about Coca-Cola. You can come down to the ramp area. Thanks for joining us here at the World of Coke. We'll be talking about some different artifacts in this room, and then I'll be telling you about the rest of your self-guided tour. How y'all doing today? Thirsty? After today, you will never be thirsty again.
ऐसा टूर होगा कि प्यास नहीं लगेगी तो
Everybody right where you are, just stop and you can just look over this way wherever you are. That's good. Thank you very much. We're making memories. Hello everyone, my name's Emilio. Everybody say hello, Emilio! I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. When I get near you, just yell out where you're visiting from. Virginia! Here!
Arkansas!
Florida! North Carolina! Chicago! Yes! Pennsylvania! Not sure where you're from. Maryland. Local. I've been there. Local. Well, welcome everybody. We're from all across the United States and all around the world, but what we have in common is our love of Coca-Cola. We'll be talking about some different artifacts in this room, and then I'll be telling you about the rest of your self-guided tour. As we all know, or maybe some of you don't, Coca-Cola was invented here in Atlanta by John Pemberton, a pharmacist in Jacobs Pharmacy within a mile of the world of Coca-Cola. In May of 1886, so this past May, we just finished celebrating our 123rd anniversary. Woohoo! Now, the oldest thing you'll see here at the World of Coke is this Coca-Cola urn from 1896. And back in the olden days, before Coke came in a bottle, this is how you would receive a Coca-Cola. The top bowl of that urn would be filled with syrup, Coca-Cola syrup. They put a glass below it, you receive an ounce of syrup and 5 ounces of carbonated water. You'd stir it up, put ice in it, and that's how you would receive it. It sold back then for 5 cents a glass, and it stayed that price for 70 years until 1956, when it went up to the unheard of sum of 6 cents a glass. Highway robbery. Draw your attention to the back wall, all the way up to the top. That Coca-Cola Company sign in Spencerian script was in our first corporate building in 1919. Stayed there until 1979. Below that, where you see the 4 football players, Play Refreshed, was one of the first times Coca-Cola used African-American athletes in an ad back in 1953. The woman in the center of the wall handing you the Coke is Miss World from India, Aishwarya Rai. Shout out to India! Yay! All right, enough of that. Below her, Graham W. Jackson, Georgia native, international musician, also noted for playing at President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's funeral. As you look around this entire room, 16 different languages from 20 different countries all the way around. Over here on my far right, Open Happiness is our 2009 campaign. You will see those colorful characters in the award-winning animated feature when we go into the theater area. Now, we're just going to be in this room for about 5 more minutes. And then you're going to see the Happiness Factory film, which shows you what happens when you put your money in a Coca-Cola vending machine. That lasts 6 minutes. After that, I will take you into the hub, which is in the center of the world of Coca-Cola. Everything else after that, you'll be on your own. You'll be on your own self-guided tour. You can move at your own pace. If you didn't pick up a map in the lobby, I will have maps with me. On that first level, you're going to see roaming around the Coca-Cola polar bear. Arr! 7 feet tall, giving out bear hugs. You want your picture done with him? There's a photographer there, but you can use your own camera or video camera if you brought one. Milestones, which shows you the history and development of Coca-Cola, is on that level, with 10 exhibits in that wing alone. 2 walls are dedicated to the Olympics. Coca-Cola has sponsored the Olympics since 1928. We just received our torch from Beijing. There's a wall of pins and much more memorabilia than you'll see in this room. Across from that is Bottle Works. You'll see an 8-ounce glass bottle of Coca-Cola come down, get filled up, go through that whole process, and each one of you will receive a bottle from that plant as a souvenir when you exit on the 2nd floor. On the second floor, you have 4D theater. In search of the secret formula. You go around the world with Coca-Cola. You love this. You wear 3D glasses and you sit in chairs that move. There's laser lights. Woo! There's water. Ah! There's wind. Eee! That film runs 9 minutes. No extra charge, runs continuously. Pop culture is Coke and art and people who collect Coca-Cola memorabilia. Perfect Pauses is a theater that you sit in where you watch international Coke commercials, as well as nostalgic Coke commercials from the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. Mean Joe Green, a bunch of young people standing on a hill singing. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Everybody! Perfect harmony. Well, we're going to work on that perfect harmony. But of course, and then towards their exit, our world-famous tasting room. With over 60 different Coca-Cola products for you to try to your heart's content. You receive your bottle of Coca-Cola there, and then you'll be heading into our gift retail department where your exit point will be. So the exit from the world of Coke is on the second floor after the tasting room. Keep that in mind as you tour with us today. Now these beautiful cardboard cutouts you see on either side of me, including this elaborate circus, date back from the 1920s and 30s. They're called festoons, and they were used in drugstores to draw your attention to where Coke would be sold. Of course, they would use Hollywood movie stars of yesteryear, like the couple framed in the corner, Clark Gable and Joan Crawford. Clark Gable, a favorite son here in Atlanta because of the film Gone with the Wind, and Joan Crawford, of course, for her unique mothering skills. The largest thing you'll see is that Coca-Cola bottle opener from 2006. It was used on a billboard on I-75. Measuring 16 feet long, 5 feet wide. They cut it 4 times just to get it in this room. From the 50s and 60s, these Coca-Cola banks, you would give these to children for Christmas. They put a coin in, receive a real sip of Coca-Cola. Oh, thank you, Santa Claus. One of the most valuable things you will see is this original oil painting, Barefoot Boy by Norman Rockwell, 1931. Norman Rockwell, a very popular American artist and illustrator, who had been commissioned by Coke to do 6 different portraits of people enjoying Coca-Cola. Barefoot Boy, with its Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer theme, was so popular, it was made into trays like you see here, playing cards, calendars, and coasters. Our second Norman Rockwell painting, Carry Me Back to Old Virginia, is in Milestones, a museum I mentioned on the first level. The third one is in our corporate office, but the other 3 are missing and in places unknown. So next time you're visiting your Meemaw, if you ever find one, do give us a call here at the World of Coke. We'll talk over your retirement plan. Barefoot Boy alone is worth $2.5 million. The other 3 are probably worth a lot more because they haven't been seen in a long time. In a very short time, these lights are blinking. We're going into the Happiness Factory. The top back row of seats are designated for my friends with special needs, like my beautiful Duchess right here. Please be respectful of that. The top back row of seats are for anyone with special needs. I will see you in the Happiness Factory. Thank you very much.